Alright, what's going on, guys? This is No Pioneer Sport Cards. We have another monthly recap of how the 2020 tops market's been doing for Formula One. Let's just jump right into it. First thing, Lewis Hamilton his Sapphire Raw, up to 530, so a nice little 5% increase. If you go back to December, kind of holding steady right at this 530 mark, so pretty steady there. His Chrome has been slowly trending up the last 3 months, up another 5%. Hamilton's been looking pretty good in the market this past month. Sapphire did really well, which we'll get to eventually, but really good month for having Hamilton stuff. Next up, we have Verstappen's Sapphire Raw, down 16.5 odd percent. This kind of just has to do with his championship, and now that it's going to be getting into this new season, he's going to obviously drop as more people try to sell some of this stuff before the season, but still not that bad at all at 350. This ratio is pretty healthy. This is about what it was before. If we want to go back, it's probably even a tad up. Even looking at December's, we have the 530 to 293, so still pretty good overall ratio. Lando Norris, this 160, I will say, should be a different color. I could not find a single comp on eBay for this Lando Norris that was in the past 2 weeks. So I kind of had to just best guesstimate with PSA 8s and PSA 9s to kind of come up with this 160 number. So I will say this is not an accurate number, but it's about the best I could do for what I found. Lando Norris had a pretty good month at 14% increase, but if you kind of look at it in this past 3 months, held pretty steady. Next up, we have George Russell, who took a tumble with his Sapphire Raw price, dropping over 30%. I mean, this is the lowest I've seen him in the past. I've had him charted at the last 5 months. So if you're looking for a raw Sapphire Russell, now's probably the right time to buy before the season. If he gets rattles off a 1 or 2, I could see this really getting right back up to this 185 to 200 mark, no problem. Next up, we have Leclaire Sapphire Raw. Once again, another good month for Leclaire at holding at this $100 kind of threshold-ish range, which is about where he should be. As I've always said, he should be right around the Russell Norris range. So really happy to see that and kind of just come to fruition. We do have the box prices. Sapphire held steady. I didn't see a single really dollar increase. The sales are almost exact same. Chrome, not a ton of sales, as most of these sales are going to be off of eBay, and I don't have access to those. So from what I found, I got it at 1930. This could be up or down, but that's what I have it at. Now the ones that I'm really kind of interested in are these PSA 10s. These raws, in my opinion, are just too volatile for me to really look at them and give a prediction for how the market's looking. Hamilton, like I said earlier, really strong with this 20% increase from 1350 to 1630. You've seen in his color. His colors have gone up since January when he was at that low when people were trying to sell him. Right back up to this price. I haven't seen this 1630 probably since right a month after the National or so when this was really hot. So I'm really happy to see this with Hamilton. Verstappen, same story as his Raw. Just the championship is the hype's died down, so falls back in line. But the 760 sale, not that bad in comparison to these other ones, especially because his pop counts to keep going up. So I wouldn't worry too much about him and the rest of these guys. We have Lando Norris, who went down as well. I think all this stuff has to do with pop count, so I'm not worrying about it too much at all. The one that's really interesting to me is this George Russell, who reaches his prices he saw in October and November before taking that massive tumble in December. He finally got back to this $600 range, but it's really weird seeing this huge difference between Norris and Russell for the PSA 10s. Leclaire, slowly trending down, not worried at all because this all has to do with low populations, and as more are being graded, prices are going to drop as well. Closing in on this Norris range, so nice to see that. Down on the left, we kind of just wrote down some of these trends I saw. Hamilton trending up, Verstappen's down. Norris I have trending way down based off of this 12%, and I put way down just in regards to how Russell did, who was trending up. Got Leclaire holding steady. And now we will jump into my price predictions that I've given. I say Hamilton holds roughly pretty steady at 550. I have his Chrome holding this roughly 135 mark. We have Verstappen. I have him kind of just slowly dropping a little bit more. This is the one that I think it might not be this much. I think I'm overreacting here, but we'll see how the market takes it. We have the Norris and Russell. I don't know. These always are two peas in a pod, so I kind of put the pricing accordingly. Try to split the middle on those two. We got Leclaire, who I think is going to just hold steady right at this $100 mark as we saw. Sapphire, I have his Sapphire going up to 2,300. I got the Chrome going to 2,050. Just slowly kind of bridging that gap to make those come more even. Hamilton, I have him coming down a bit from 1,630. Seems a tad high for a Sapphire base, but not too crazy. I have the Verstappen trending up to 800. I think this is going to kind of come back up again. This is going to be Norris. I have Norris kind of coming back up to bridge the gap, like I said. Having the Russell coming down to 550, just because I don't think it's going to be quite to that point where the hype on Russell will really get there if he wins a race. I actually probably should have checked when the season started, but that's why I have that there. And then lastly, I got, what do I have? Leclaire, right at 340. Don't think there's going to be a big difference here, but yeah, hopefully this was good for y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.